Good morning, Algebra 2ers. I am sick as a dog, so I'm gonna get started here. Um, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work off of the unit circle from yesterday. We're actually gonna graph sine. So if you remember, sine is the y-coordinate as we move around the unit circle, going from triangle to triangle. All right. So we're gonna focus on the major points here. All right, the major, 30, 45, 60, 90, and all the way around. And we're going to go ahead and look and see like what those y coordinates are, and then we're going to graph this. All right, so starting off at the very first y coordinate right here. All right, if you remember, you can look at your unit circle too. We notice that as cosine counted down from square root of 3 over 2, sine counted up from 1/2, right? So you've got 1/2, and then you've got radical 2 over 2. And I do want to see that you took the time to graph these very carefully with me today. I will give you engagement points for filling this out very carefully. All right. So our y coordinate as we move around is 0, 1/2, blah, 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 and we get to the top 1. Now that's as high as sine can go on the unit circle. And so we're moving from here, moving upwards up to 1, and then we're actually going to notice that as we come back down, our values retreat. All right, and then we come back down to 0. And then, as you come back down to 0, our y-coordinate actually goes negative. Okay, what we're about to do is we're about to give those guys some decimals. Now again, I'm just focused on the y-coordinate because that is the sine. Okay, and so this is negative radical 3 over 2. Negative 1/2, and then back up to 0. Okay, so what we'll do is 1/2 is actually 0.5. Okay, so here's our 1, and what's really nice is, and I looked all over for this for years, and I finally found a resource like this, where what they do is this is actually lined up with exactly how this should go. So this 1/2 is actually right here at 30 degrees, or pi over 6. So at 0, it's 0. Okay, the tallest is 1. And then at pi over 6, we go to 1/2. All right, it's a little, I'm going to actually line up here a little better. Pi over 3. Well, pi over 3 is actually right here. So in between here is right there. Now these values right here, excuse me, 1/2 is obviously 0.5. Square root of 2 over 2 is actually 0.707, and then radical 3 over 2 is 0.866. All right. So if we were to look at these as decimals, that's actually what happens. As soon as you get to pi over 2, that's actually when you hit 1. Try to line it up there. Okay. So then at 2 pi over 3, that's when we start to come back down. Okay. 5 pi over 6 is actually right here. So this is right here. All right, and then what happens at pi is right here. So we're about halfway through our cycle. Notice that we're going from 0 to 2 pi. So we're halfway through our cycle. We're back down to 0. Now we're going to start to go negative. So here we're here, and then here, here, and the 3 pi over 2, we're at negative 1. When we come back down, we should say go back up. Okay, so right there, that is the pi over 4 right there, and that's where this guy is. And then finally at 2 pi, we're back to 0. So what you get is this beautiful, beautiful wave. All right, so it's kind of hard to believe. Now this is going to keep going the more and more we spin in either direction. as we keep going. So this is cyclical. This is called a periodic function. And periodic functions mean that they will go up, come back down, go back up. Okay, it's not just like a particular function where there's no pattern to the rhythm. Okay, like a polynomial. Periodic functions are going in cycles. Okay, all right. So there's sine, and then the next video we'll do cosine, and you'll notice that there's a slight difference.